everybody, and welcome back to Superman and Lois TV Talk. This is our episode for Season 1, Episode 11, a brief reminiscence in between cataclysmic events. My name is Frank Ramblings, and joining me, we're back. All three of us are back together, fellas.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Derek Russell and Mr. Robin Burge.
It's too bad we're out of time with saying that entire episode title.
Too many names, too many people. Too long in an episode title, so we'll see you next week. We're always around.
Mm-hmm. We've gone evil.
We've gone evil. That's what's happening. It's the evil.
You can tell because Robin's eyes are red now.
Yeah, that's the difference.
The subtle difference.
That is the small difference.
Nope, he's already left. He's done.
Yeah, he's bored of us. There's this is too many people. We gotta take it down. That's fine.
That's fine. Welcome back, Frank.
Thank you. Thank you guys. It was, it's always a bummer when I can't join you, but it's kind of a treat when I get to listen to you after the fact. So there's that.
Yeah. But I don't know if you're like me when I listen to the two of you in the car, because whenever I do it, I'm in the car and I end up talking back to you the entire time. Missed out.
You're very consistent with this. It's been decades now.
It's severe FOMO. You know, it's like the whole time you guys are like, "Did you like that part?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I really did like that part." Not that you asked me, because I'm not there.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
real quick,
fun to listen.
Real quick before we get into it, since so much came out of last week, why don't you hit your
high notes?
Letterman top 10.
Yeah. Well, I guess the big takeaway is I'm sure as hell happy that Morgan Edge was not actually Zod, because that was sort of I was going to be real disappointed if that's where we were going. And I'm thrilled that wasn't the case, and to see where they took that was, the Eradicator stuff. I was a very happy Superman fan. The seeing Laura via Larna
Thank you.
Yep.
Stuck.
Hey, yeah. So
everybody's saying it.
I thought it was a
wildfire.
Great episode, and for a Superman fan, it was something really, really cool. There was lots of fun and exciting references, and Derek, you went into it talking about why the Eradicator means so much, and it is kind of cool that now we are sort of seeing the four Supermen from Reign of the Supermen, sort of 3 out of 4 sort of represented, depending how you look at it. So that's kind of cool. And I am like, are we going for 4? Is that like what the goal of the season is? Like, where are we going next?
Which one of you will betray me before the rooster? Which one of you is the robot?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who's Cyborg Superman, and can they do a better job with Cyborg Superman than maybe was done on
I think they would have to, since there was no reason for that character to be called Cyborg Superman.
There wasn't, and I said it at the time. Tim and I were saying, like, why this is weird. Why is
you don't look like him?
Superman?
You're not wearing an S.
You just
your
decided
Henshaw, but there's no point in you calling yourself Cyborg.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm a robot, but is that a streetlight?
Even David,
I'm not a robot.
Even David Harewood afterwards was like, that was kind of strange.
That was an odd choice.
Anyway, so if they can do a different version of that, I'd be happy to see that.
Well, we've got more than enough to talk about on this one, which will carry us through yet another hiatus, although not as long as last time, thankfully.
Right.
Robin, what did you say? July 13th is our
July
next episode?
13th is the next one, and who knows what's next. But we do have a date for the finale, but we're going to get into all that in spoilers.
Right, in spoilers. But as far as sort of news goes, like that's interesting, because you guys had read out like that they were going to do, they had announced dates where they were going to do reruns. So that is a change of schedule, the fact that we're coming back for July 13th.
And really, that was according to IMDb. I mean, we did get the first.
No, don't ever
rerun.
say those words.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, why did I even? But Wikipedia wouldn't lie. But we did hear from Craig that Holding the Wrench would be the first repeat. So I just naturally was like, so that if there's a 4-week break, it would work that way. But I guess not.
Guess not.
Maybe they're going to like double it up and have, I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Either way, we get more Superman and Lois on the 13th. And then, yes, we know what date we're barreling towards for the finale. So it kind of puts things in perspective. But I guess that's about it for news.
Yeah. Really kind of talking about how they switch things up with, it could be, we were thinking it was Zod, and then it turns out to be this Tal Rowe guy, this completely made up thing. And it's funny, I was reading an interview with Adam Rayner, who plays Morgan Edge, and he was saying that, like, he signed up as Morgan Edge. Like, he was going to be playing Morgan Edge. That's what he was going to be. And this totally reminds me of what's his name, who played John Henry Irons. I apologize, I forgot his name.
Wole Parks.
Wole Parks, that's right. He signed on because his character was described to him as Lex Luthor, like Lex or a relation of some sort, or a clone of some. They're not quite figuring it out. And then it seems like they kind of dropped all these, play pieces on the board, and then kind of partway through writing, kind of flipped the script a little bit. They didn't know that. I'm assuming they didn't know that Morgan Edge was going to end up being Tal Rowe, that they would make up a completely different Kryptonian character. Just like John Henry Irons, like not knowing that Captain Luthor is going to be John Henry Irons. So it's interesting. It is interesting.
I guess those are things that can come out, you sort of start with one set of pieces on the board, and maybe as you start breaking the story, you realize that maybe it would be cool if, like, what if we had some twists? What if these characters are not who they're presenting themselves as this or that name, but what if they had another identity? And what if that, in some cases, what if that has a tie back to Superman lore? And what if we broke new ground?
I wonder if, COVID had anything to do with this. Like, they started in one direction, and then there was a bit of a break, and maybe the writers were like, you know what, I'm kind of bored with this. What if we did this differently?
It is interesting, right? Because I do feel like Supergirl sort of has a feel that way this season too, where it sort of feels like, they had a lot of time to really refine the story. They had more time than they would normally have, and it seems like maybe they took it in some different directions than they would have otherwise because they had more time to noodle on it.
Right. And who knows? Maybe we would have ended up with somehow like Morgan Edge being responsible for being in control of this Eradicator and all that. And they didn't push it that final, like, actually he's a hidden Kryptonian this entire time. So
I love where they've taken it.
Right. Or maybe they were originally going with Zod and then thought, yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe we dodged a bullet.
Maybe not. Yeah. So, shall we get into the episode breakdown? Shall I walk us through it as I usually do?
Please do. Give us the tail of the tape. What are the vital signs?
Okay. A brief cataclysm between reminiscent events is directed by... darn it. Brief reminiscence in between cataclysmic events is directed by Gregory Smith and written by Brent Fletcher. I didn't really look them up because I've already talked about them earlier this season. They're both returning. But we start in the Arctic Circle, where we have young Clark, after freshly abandoning his mother in Smallville without a hug, is now just basically holding the Sunstone, letting it kind of lead him. And then all of a sudden it just kind of stops, and he just gets super angry about it, which, no pun intended, but
no pun intended.
I was thinking, like, wow, this young Clark is so, like, this is the angstiest young Clark. And we had 10 seasons of Smallville, but this kid
is an angry young man. Yeah. I really feel like the sorry, do I have to put a coin in the jar for those two?
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
Boy.
Yeah, he's
dollars. Go ahead and say this up front. Any Bo Burnham references, $1 goes in the jar.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. I do.
Robbie just got out his wallet.
Yep.
How about Venmo? Would Venmo suffice?
I just learned how to use it. So
good.
$1 not at the podcast.
You can send Derek that $20 back then.
Already did.
Good.
So let me have that on the record. Okay.
Good. Great. I'm glad that it's documented. Your transactions are documented. He is very angsty. He makes Smallville Clark look well adjusted, and he makes Smallville Clark look well adjusted and grown up.
And huge Superman the movie vibes from this, obviously, and that other show vibes as well. because those are both instances where we've seen the formation of the Fortress of Solitude, and it's not something that happens in live action a whole heck of a lot. But instead of getting mad and throwing the crystal, he just is like, just throws it on the ground.
And he's ready to walk back home. I'm going to just walk right back to Kansas.
She better still be sitting on that bench.
She better not have turned into it yet.
I'm going to have to apologize for this. Came all this way and nothing.
But then, the fortress is built, and which is the one thing that I thought that was cool about this, that I think is unique, is the fact that the fortress being built completely buries him, and he has to heat vision himself out from under the ice and the snow.
Well, it's more of almost like a cavern in this. I mean, there's still like a formation. Of course, it's not the back of the shoe shirts or anything, but it's that wasn't really a great. Let's not.
Wow.
But it's obviously much more about that cave entrance than anything else, which is good because I guess that keeps people from that happen to be coming by out of it.
That's true. Yeah. You get a lot less intruders when you're not a giant.
I mean, you call it the Fortress of Solitude, but when you make it look like that, you can spot it from miles.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
They actually don't call it the Fortress of Solitude.
They don't name it.
I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but Jor-El does not refer to it as the Fortress of Solitude.
Clark he just kind of says this is a place where you can learn.
Yeah, a place from away from public eye where you can learn and grow. And also, I mean, too, the Superman the movie vibes, the fact that he ages. He goes from Jeff East to Christopher Reeve in the time that he's been training at the Fortress. So,
but they don't drop years. They don't drop
years.
Sorry, Robin.
At least Jeff East looked anything like Christopher Reeve.
He sure sounded like him.
Well, his nose looked a lot like Christopher Reeve.
I was years older before I knew that was dubbed. Maybe not like high school, but I'd say like junior high before I knew that was a dub job. And when you watch it now, there's just no way to not pick up on that.
Once you know,
whatsoever.
you can't
unsee it or unhear it.
I mean, I guess I noticed it was ADR, but so many movies in the 70s were ADR that like it didn't faze me.
It's like he sounds just like him.
Right.
Oh, it is him.
It is him. Oh. Yeah.
So so Jor-El appears and gives him the lowdown. And then young Clark is basking in the sun and ends up going for a run, and that run turns him into older Clark. And
he was running fast.
Yeah, that was some Speed Force stuff right there.
That. We haven't really talked about it. How do y'all feel about Angus as Jor-El?
Well, since this might be the last time we are able to discuss him.
Oh, that made me so angry. That made me really angry.
Let's talk about it.
You know me. That's my bread and butter. Like Superman, Fortress of Solitude, Kryptonian AI, like all that is like right in my wheelhouse.
Yep.
So when Edge did that, I was like, kill him. Just kill him now. Just go ahead and murder him. Turn the lights on in there while we were all fine out here and just drop him in the hole. Like there's no redeeming quality there whatsoever. But we'll talk about that when the time comes.
Yeah, Angus McFadden. Is it McFadden? McFadden?
Sure.
He's definitely a different Jor-El. He's not the older, wiser. He just seems like I don't know. I guess it just feels different to me, but also
it's closer on the spectrum between Marlon Brando and Russell Crowe. It's more on the Russell Crowe side of the spectrum.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. Yeah, they must have really been leaning like we had to give him a beard.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He's the first Jor-El, and this is nothing against his acting or anything like that. I don't mean, but it's the first time I've ever felt like Jor-El wasn't really there. I really feel like he's a hologram and not.
Yeah. Yep.
Even though they probably converse more than a Terrence Stamp or a Marlon Brando or what have you, that more, I guess you could call it live commentary versus
right.
pre-recorded messages on the answering machine kind of thing. But
it's more conversational. It's more
because with like a Terrence Stamp, because with a Terrence Stamp, you're getting more like formal, like the time has come, like that kind of stuff. And this is more like you gotta You gotta raise those kids. I don't know. It
feels like
seems far more.
He has like feelings. He's less formal, and he has like a personality, I guess is what it is, instead of being sort of straight up an AI. It's not like you're talking to your Amazon Tube device that I won't say the name of, so I don't trigger anybody's devices.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
But it's like you're talking to your device assistant.
Amazon Tube device. Did you notice, Frank, offsides? What one of the first lines in the episode was?
This is no fantasy.
No, it was like the day has finally come, or something
yes,
like that. I was like,
I did. I was like, so close, off by one. So close.
Save Me Chapter 2 dropping tomorrow.
The day is coming. The day is coming.
All right. So, young Clark turns into the Clark we know, Tyler, and then he takes flight. And I texted you guys a couple of GIFs, and I was just like pure joy, just rewatching just the GIFs of Tyler flying and being just really communicating how exciting it is to learn that you can fly and being able to control flight. And even lets out a woo, which I thought was great.
It's so fun.
I mean, some Donner pulls, some Snyder pulls, some of their own pulls, definitely. The shot of him morphing into Tyler was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, amidst all that being digital. Again, it's hard to look at this show and then look at all the other shows on the CW and be like, I see where the money's going. Like,
for sure,
looks really good.
For sure.
Jor-El basically is like, okay, your lessons are done, but you need to figure out why you choose to be their champion. Like, you need to go back and reconnect with humans.
Do I? Like, must I? I mean, did all that, came here. Now you're going to make me go back. You're the one that sent me here, Dad.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of chill here. What if can I just hang?
I mean, I've been here for 10 years. What's another year?
Martha's not really going to notice another year, right?
All right. And the 28 known galaxies and all that business. I forget how long he was actually in the Fortress of Solitude.
In this show?
No, in Superman the movie.
Okay.
In this show, Robin, anytime you want to take us
we'll get to it.
Forward. Okay.
He shows up in the next scene that makes me go, oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah, as soon as they showed that marquee in the next scene, I was like, oh.
Nope, not even. All right, shall we get to it?
Yeah.
So yes. Clark goes back to Smallville, and Martha, who has now retained human form, and knows who this
form of bench.
It knows who this young man is. And at first I was confused, but later we find out that she had a dream about him and he looked his adult self. So that actually made up for, I was like, I almost dinged him on that. Like, how did she, I mean, he looks a bit different than young Clark.
I mean, he grew 4 feet. There's that,
Yeah.
He was not taller than her and now is.
So
he looks like a completely different person. Like, how did she recognize him?
Acting.
He says he's sent to Earth to become its champion, but he's got to do he needs to do one thing before, and that's to see Lana. And we have this moment where he goes into his old room, or maybe just in some boxes that Martha's keeping. Anyway, he pulls out a yearbook, and good golly, they say class of 1998. And I was like, yes, a year. So, that means if Clark was in the same grade, that means he was 18 when he's in his young Clark form in 1998. That means he's currently 41, which I went back to my previous notes. If everybody remembers the legal pad, I mean, I know you got it kind of written down as your favorite Superman and Lois TV Talk memories.
Certainly.
It matches.
I know. I wrote it down in my yearbook.
He is currently in 2021, 41 years old. And that's exactly how they set it up previously. And it even works into some of the Supergirl mythology as well.
Ah, that's right. Because he's supposed to have been here for 12 years already when she gets here. So that.
And this is what, 2004 now? Is that correct?
We're getting
when she gets
we're
here?
getting to that.
No, when where we're at now with him in the farm.
I see.
Yes, we're getting to that though. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
So
I didn't mean to.
I love how I loved working through this. So I don't want to just drop it all.
I didn't mean to take it away from you.
In the yearbook, there is a name in there. I, of course, Google every name that they show on the show. And one of them was Brent Ladner. So I put Brent Ladner, Superman and Lois. And I found an article from Vancouver talking about the suburb of Delta in Vancouver area is called Ladner. And Ladner is the suburb where I was horrified to find out, looking at this article, and I sent it to you, Derek, that the Kent Farm facade is built in Ladner.
Oh, no.
Facade.
It's not real.
Oh, that's a bummer.
We might be looking at an empty house.
That's fine. I don't care.
But yeah, we'll definitely be.
I just assumed. I mean, from what I was able to gauge on that the show built the house, the facade. Obviously, there's no reason for just a fake four walls.
Pretty big facade.
There. Did they build the barn too, though?
I'm assuming.
I mean, knock up job, crackerjack. It looks like it's been there.
Silo too, and
it looks like it's been there for dozens of years.
Well, of course, we know the entire town of Smallville is facade built on like a fairground in real life.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
It's like a street over from the real main street of Surrey. Is that Surrey?
Yeah. Don't set that off either.
Sorry. It's a street over from downtown Smallville from Smallville.
Yeah. Cloverdale, I believe.
Cloverdale. Yeah.
So that was some new information I didn't have before. So anyway, we go down to that facade, Main Street. Everything's a lie. And Clark spots Lana talking to a friend in front of the Sequoia. And the Sequoia has on its marquee that the theater is showing a double feature. And it says on one side, Harry Potter, and on the other side, Friday Night Lights. Of course, Harry Potter, no idea. Like, which Harry Potter? But you see Friday Night Lights. Friday Night Lights came out in 2004.
Nice. Which
means this is 24-year-old Clark we're seeing here. And that Clark has definitively been gone 6 years. Not however long it was in the movie.
In the movie, it was 12 years.
Whew.
I was thinking 13. So yeah,
13 stuck in my mind too for some reason. But I just did a quick Google and it's 12.
And then I looked up some other
side goog, you might call it.
Round 3. And I looked at my old notes, and 2004 is also the same year that Kara arrives on Earth. And
now?
Kara is Supergirl. Everybody, this is a character that is in
Kara.
Is it Kara?
Kara.
Oh, sorry, Kara.
Some say Kira. So.
Well, they kicked that person off the show anyway.
Couldn't afford her.
So then of course I went further and I was like, okay, which Harry Potter came out the same year as Friday Night Lights, and I was Prisoner of Azkaban.
Okay.
But they screwed up because I noticed that on the front of the theater they have a poster for Chamber of Secrets.
Oh shoot.
So then I'm like, oh, maybe they're doing like a 3-movie marathon for Harry Potter on one side.
I can't see that at all.
Yeah, it's out of focus, but if you notice, it's that green poster that they had for Chamber.
Wow, you went deep on this. Good for you, man. Yeah.
It's
a Warner Brothers property too. It's a Warner Brothers property, so it's like it doesn't seem like it would be that hard to have the right poster.
And now I'm going to drop another thing on you. If the boys are both 16 years old in 2021, that means they're born.
They're not
when
16,
Clark turns 25. Oh, really?
They're not 16. They're 14.
They're 14.
14.
Yeah. Okay, so that lines up.
That lines up. That gives us a couple of years.
Yeah, about 3 years between Clark wandering around in Smallville and getting disappointed because Lana is with this clean-shaven fireman to be.
Yep.
And then 3 years later, he's already. Well, we'll be talking about that, but Yeah.
Can we talk about this though, and not math? I did not like this. I did not like this at all.
What part of it?
I don't like him coming back to find her only for him to be sad that she's with somebody else.
Oh,
I feel like he left her behind when he left Smallville behind.
That's true.
I don't.
That's true.
Because then it becomes almost like he got with Lois, not as a rebound, obviously, but that was like because I didn't have my first option because she was, and I don't like that. That's not how. I didn't care for that at all.
I didn't. That actually didn't bother me as much as the idea that he would just leave Martha for 6 years. And just sort of like, I just had to do my own thing. Like that actually rubbed me the wrong way more than him still pining for Lana. Like, cause when he meets Lois, it's like, boom, like butterflies.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know that's
like,
the way it's going to be, but it's also, I don't know. It just like, if they had done that and he was looking for, and then he saw she was with somebody and was visibly happy for her, like the change there, but like zooming into the ring and all that, it didn't.
His eyes went red. I was like, whoa.
A lot of that going around.
I don't know. I guess I could. I don't know. For whatever reason, that didn't bother me as much, and it just sort of it felt relatable. Like he's still a teenage kid and he still has feelings. So
he hasn't.
He's not a teenage kid anymore, but he's a.
Yeah.
He's not a teenage kid anymore, actually. But he's.
I mean, he missed at this point. He's missed out on Facebook. I mean, he's missed a lot.
Right, and that's the thing. Is like it's one thing to be, just for it still to hurt when the person that you cared about is with somebody else. But it's different if he was like, I expected you to wait for me, which I don't think he did really. And Martha even said,
I kind of feel like he did though. I mean, he's sitting at the table like lamenting the fact that, and she's like, you were gone a long time. People move on. He's like, yeah, I guess. And it's like, no,
6 years.
You were the one that left, and you made the conscious decision to leave. And I don't know. I mean,
to be clear, I completely agree with that statement that he can't have expected her to wait, but it just I guess it didn't bother me
wholeheartedly.
That he felt sad.
Martha's spitting the truth. I guess to me it feels like I don't know.
Well, I think they're trying to make. I think they're trying to make 2 points that they're nailing down in this episode. One is a little kind of fishy, kind of like, oh God, I hope they're not up to this, but that Lana is officially the one that got away. But number 2, which I feel much more happy about, is that they're saying, okay, this right here, this broody, angsty Clark is who he would have been without Lois. And that Lois and then Morgan nails that point home at the end of the episode.
That's right.
Well, I mean, that's
so maybe
true.
That's why.
That's true in all media to me. I mean, Lois is Superman's Superman.
But like to lay it out like that for us rather than just let us kind of.
Because at 24, knowing that he's 24 when he's doing that kind of changes. When I watched it, I guess I was still sort of thinking of him as being younger than that. At 24, you're a grown man now, man. Like you should be like, you should understand that like she moved on with her life because you've been gone for 6 years. So like, of course you did. So with that shading on it, I do like the idea that Lois makes him a better man. Lois makes him, a better person. As much as the Kents give him the foundation, and Lois, and no, that's always been the case. But that's an interesting way to show it. It's a different way to show it that I don't know. The
Kents make him human. Lois makes him Superman. I mean, it's just, that's a really small potatoes way of saying what she is to him because it's so much more than that. Looking at it through that lens. But to me, it's like with this, it's just, I don't know. I just did not care for.
Didn't sit right.
I just wish it had been, she found somebody. I'm very happy for her. Not.
Yeah. I would have liked that better. I would have liked that better. Yeah.
Because Lana Lang should never be the one that got away.
I mean, in my opinion, was like kryptonite skin, so they can't get together. Is that
she got far away?
I really feel like did Lana even show up in any of the previous flashbacks to young small? Like, did we see a young?
I mean,
Lana?
She's talked about stuff
weird
previously.
How they kind of crowbar that into there.
Yeah, she's talked about things. I don't know why it just wasn't him walking through Smallville. I don't know why there was this destination thing of having to go see her. I don't know why he couldn't have just been walking down Main Street, seen her, got excited to see her, and then saw Kyle run up and hug her. And
that's true. It is weird that he was like,
and just be like, very happy for her, keep on walking. Like, why did it have to be this? I've come back for her kind of thing.
That is weird. That is weird that he knew to find her at the theater. Like, yeah, actually, that is very strange.
Well, moving on. Clark.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring us down.
No, it's okay. Clark is brooding, and Martha decides to cheer him up by showing that she's made him a costume that she dreamed about. What do you guys think about that? Like, she dreamed about him as this man, and that he was wearing this outfit.
It was a little. I mean, it was cute, I guess. I don't know. It was a little strange for me. I don't know. Maybe that's just the way I'm imagining it.
It gave me shades of the ending of Man of Steel with him pretending to have the cape on and Jonathan watching him. And of course, then in the next movie, it's like this was just a dream of a farmer from Kansas. I was like, no, he told you not to do any of this. He told you to not show yourself to the world. He died for it, Mr. Coach Klein.
It does feel like they are kind of cloaking Martha in this weird dream space thing, like how in the pilot it's this whole thing where Martha is like calling to Clark from her deathbed, but also like sets up this mysterious, like, it's time to come home, and now she's, now we go back and she's dreaming about him and as this hero. And now she's telling him it's time for you to go save the world. It's interesting what they're doing with Martha on this show.
Did you notice some of the stuff in the trunk? When she
Yeah.
pulls out the suit.
Yeah.
I noticed the little rocket from the pilot that he
Yes.
knocked through the walls of the house, the
I
facade.
didn't realize that. Good.
And there's like a Metropolis baseball cap and a few other
Meteors,
and
glasses.
There's some glasses
reason.
in there, and I'm like, I never understand the glasses on the kids. That was one of my biggest gripes with Superman Returns. It's like, why does he have glasses?
Yeah.
Never makes sense to me.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah.
So she unfurls the cape, and that was interesting. She was holding it, and it looked like she was just holding the cape, and I was like, "Oh, she made him a cape."
It almost looked like a tunic the way it was folded, like it cut in, looked like a Star Trek uniform, kind of.
It sure looked like a red Carhartt jacket at first glance. Just saying.
Gonna need something on the chest, though.
We're doing this, huh? Yeah, right, exactly. So we then go to Metropolis, and we have bumbling lost Clark. And I don't know, this kind of lines up with, this is not a personality. He's just, he's in the city, and he's a guy from Kansas, Do
you know where the street is? Does anybody know where he's just walking around and hoping some kind stranger will tell him how to get there.
Yeah. It's not really, mild-mannered, bumbling Clark facade. It's true fish out of water Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always prefer that. I always prefer that over the he's putting it on. Like I actually kind of like the no, he's just he's a little bit of a dork. He's actually like a little bit of a dork.
And he really, even in this, he's not putting on, he's out on the street just talking to people. He's not in the planet pretending, slunking over or anything like that. This is him.
It's not a bit.
This is Clark.
It's not a bit.
He's just trying to find the apartment that he's going to rent. And funny enough, he's looking for Mill Edge Avenue. And I was like, Mill Edge? Maybe that was the first hint that this might not all be real. But I don't understand why they said Mill Edge. And
just a way to hide Edge in there,
You're reading too much into it.
No, everything means something.
I think they're at the corner of Russell and Glosson.
Clark, here's tires squealing, and here's a driver say the brakes are out, and then steps into an alley, and he walks past the phone booth, and I was like, no, and does the shirt rip and takes off to this guy. I didn't realize what was coming later, but what an awesome shot. So cool. I'm always just thrilled to see the camera in on the chest as the shirt opens, but then they follow it up with him going right up into the sky, and the camera just kind of looks up at this jet of smoke as he's taking off. We see now we start seeing some stuff from we saw in the pilot.
This is all juxtaposed with pretty much the previously on the montage from narration from the opening of the pilot with the Action Comics 1 kind of cover, and obviously him meeting Lois at the planet and all that.
Mm-hmm. But when he comes back, that's when he does the phone booth switcheroo.
Yes. I love
after he saves the kid, gives him the hat back. Cool costume. Thanks, my mom made it for me.
Oh, I love.
Here you go, friend. He says.
Yeah, I loved all of it. I love the kid's hat gets knocked off. He gives him back the hat, and then when Clark flies away, Superman flies away, the hat gets knocked off again.
Well, and we kind of assumed from the pilot that this would be, especially since it's A, the Fleischer costume, and B, the green, kind of mobster car. For late 30s kind of car that the PT Cruiser was even modeled after. Mm-hmm. That this was going to be his first appearance,
right,
as Superman, and as it turns out, it seems to actually be his first appearance.
Turns out
as Superman.
And then we get a little bit of additional, are people going to buy this secret identity? Are people going to buy him and not realize he's the same person that was in the costume? And so he has this conversation with the girl.
After the phone booth.
Yes.
After the phone booth
spin. Say, Jim.
Woo. I was so happy. And that's good. I like that. I think that's one thing that leaves a little bit of a foul taste in my mouth for the 78 Superman, which barely anything in that movie leaves a foul taste. But the fact that he goes to the phone booth and it's not like a real phone booth and it's like, oh, that's a joke. And I'm like, no, it's the first Superman movie. It should be a phone booth and he should do the switch in there. I get it. It is.
They're being modern and meta.
Yeah.
So the woman he's talking to on the street is, like you said, was all like, I didn't see him. Nobody said he was a bird, a plane, who knows? But she mentions the planet, and then he's standing in front of the planet and looks up at it. So did he have any inclination to apply at the planet before that? Was his first kind of nudge toward, this might be a good idea?
I think
it kind of seems like that was, it kind of seems like that's what gave him the idea.
Because he's like, she says he looked like a guy in a cape that was flying. Someone at the planet has got to hear about this. And maybe that gives him actually, so that would be a place to get the news. Well, obviously.
I will say of all of this that's coming, I'm glad it was not a retread of things we've done previously. I've really enjoyed some of the new spin they put on. Him at the planet, him and Lois. All that. There were a few things that made me scratch my head, but we'll get to that.
Okay, so he goes and applies, and Perry says his resume is a cry for help. He's looking for cub reporters, not lost puppies. Because Clark's experience, of course, is his high school paper. Right. And then so Perry gives him, he's like, all right, fine. No health insurance, no overtime, and you have to pick up my dry cleaning.
I kind of wish the no health insurance was a bigger joke. Because I feel like it was just kind of brushed over. I feel like that could have been a whole lot funnier if it'd been like, well, there's no health insurance. Be like, I'm good with that.
True.
Don't need any. I feel like it was just a little more subtle than it had to be. But I would have appreciated more of a sting on that punchline.
That's true. That's a missed opportunity there.
And then
because the no overtime doesn't really apply, but the no health insurance was
right. Surprisingly, not going to be a problem, Chief.
Yeah, what did you think about this, Perry? Immediately he's up and out on the newsroom. He's rushing out, and Clark is kind of trying to keep up with them. I thought
that's Perry. Perry goes. Perry is on the move. Perry is walking, which is funny to me later on when he's like, "This isn't a track team, Kent, or track and field, or whatever he says to him when he's running out about to change to go save Lois." But I love that we at least got some Perry because we only got that one that happens here in a second when, again, they juxtapose a lot of this really well with the stuff that they shot for the pilot. And we only got that one quick corridor scene with Perry, and that was it. And then when we catch up, however many years later, he's already been fired or retired. So,
yeah. We see the first meeting between Clark and Lois that we saw in the pilot. And then, he's following her around and they run into Ron Troop, who's showing him a picture of a mystery man flying a boat that was sinking off of Hobbs River. And that photo was taken by Jimmy, he says.
Yeah.
And Hobbs
River. Anybody else? Is it funny that Jimmy got a reference before Kara did? on this show.
Oh man. Oh, that is sad, actually. Yeah.
Kara hasn't even landed yet.
She, maybe. I don't know. You're the math guy.
We're close.
Yeah, we're close.
Any moment now.
Any minute now. Maybe she's just gonna be a pair of boots in the corner, just like he was on her first season.
He just starts messaging her. He's like, who the hell's this? I told you never to call me here.
Yeah.
But you were saying about Hobbs River, Frank?
Yeah, Hobbs River is a Metropolis fixture in the comics. Hobbs Bay, Hobbs River. So yeah, it's a little thing from the comics.
So yeah, Lois starts to tell Clark she's like, everybody's trying to get the scoop on this new guy, but nobody's paying attention to the systemic issues that's bringing down Metropolis. Everything can't be just sealed up with a quick rescue. And again, this is Lois making Superman. I think this is like he's doing all this stuff that's quick rescues, but not really thinking about the seedy underbelly of Metropolis. Maybe, I don't know.
Ongoing problems other than cats stuck in trees.
Right.
Because he said, he's like, I hadn't even heard about this.
Yeah.
Had you read Superman Smashes the Klan last year,
then you would.
Yeah, this wasn't familiar to me at all, but I was very surprised to see Nazi symbols coming out. These just not some sort of trench coated metal masked guy with Nazi symbols. Was doing arson attacks against minority owned businesses. And I actually saw that this might be the same symbol that Uber Kara was wearing.
It is. Yep. It's that same from the crossover a few years back where there was the whole evil universe.
Was the SS patch or
the SS
whatever.
patch? Yeah. Yeah. But they've been using that in the Arrowverse in lieu of a swastika. Like that's been their Nazi symbol.
How did you feel about Lois not really caring about Superman?
I think that's I think that was a great path to take, because usually, Lois is like fawning over Superman, like goo-goo-eyed over Superman and not paying any attention to Clark. But here we have it the other way around. I mean,
I almost was like, is it just her intrinsic need to get a story down? But she was like, I'm too worried about my own stories, to be chasing this one. And I don't know. I liked it. We'll talk more about obviously when we get to the interview. But I liked that, she was, boys and their heroes, that kind of thing, like just brushing the whole thing off. Like we have actual bigger problems here than somebody picking up boats and stuff like that.
Right. And all his nonsense is drowning out the real news.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of like it from the point of view of Lois being this hardened reporter who is very motivated and very ambitious and sort of being so caught up in the work that maybe she's missing the biggest story of all time right under her nose. I kind of like that as like, because it's not until he comes into her life that softens her and turns her life around, right? Because she was
and it's sort of fascinating too that, I mean, based on dialogue, it's somewhere between 6 months and a year before they ever even actually meet, which was interesting to me. Mm. But yeah, I like the idea that she's not so story hungry. It's not Lois about, having the byline. It's Lois about, uncovering truth. Yeah. And, that his truth's great. And, everybody in here is fighting for that truth. I'm going to focus on the truth that's not getting told right now.
Yeah. Champion of the oppressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, we've heard Bitsy talk in like interviews about how important it is to her, portraying journalism and fighting for truth and all that. So I think it's great that they're holding it up.
Yeah.
We see a little bit of Lois kind of, getting snapped out of her usual, her head down, busy, and nobody paying attention, because all of a sudden this, nice guy in glasses says, "How can I help?" to her, and that's that little bit of a crack in the
yeah.
her armor.
I mean, it's always Lois like, "Yeah, you're from Kansas. I don't have time for you." I mean, there's flirting, yeah, because obviously no matter if he's slumped over and has glasses and parting his hair or not, he's still attractive, whether it's Christopher Reeve or what have you. But there's always some guff's not the right word, not tension. I don't know, but there's like strife, and it's self-inflicted strife. Like she's doing it, but she almost has that more with Superman than she does with Clark, because she's very kind of standoffish with him when they first meet a little bit, when she's usually that way more with Clark than she is Superman, but they kind of reverse that.
I kind of like that reversal. You know, I kind of like, I feel like it's very often we see portrayals where I feel like Lois is can be kind of a jerk to Clark at times, because she's sort of looking past Clark to Superman. And Clark is just sort of in her way, you know, it's sort of like she's trying to walk around the Daily Planet and he's bumbling all over the place and dropping things and you know, getting in her way. I like a Lois that likes Clark, that is like into Clark. I always have, or not even just into Clark, even just like colleagues with Clark, you know, like a Noel Neal or Phyllis Coates, like they were just colleagues, but like they weren't like Clark, you idiot. So I prefer that version where they're at least colleagues or friends. And so I like that she meets him, you know, before she knows about Superman, but like she's not already on the Superman beat.
Well, and she didn't meet Superman on the first day. Like that,
right.
That's all, you know, he didn't start at the planet and show himself to the world as Superman the day Clark, you know, walked in. I also kind of liked how sometimes the first time he shows up at the planet, she's going after a story and he ends up writing it before she can get to it.
Yeah.
And you know, they've done that kind of thing before and he was like, right place, right time kind of thing, you know, and this was much more of him helping her so she could get her story kind of thing. Like they didn't put any kind of animosity between the two of them to fuel any kind of fire. Like it was immediately like Robin said a second ago, how can I help? And like that whole montage of him taking pictures for her, doing backup while she's doing interviews and everything. I really liked that.
Very much reminded me of like a Lois and Clark, you know, the series Lois and Clark dynamic.
Yeah.
Where they are sharing bylines and they are like partners. Like
by the time they actually get there, instead of those first, you know, that first chunk where it's shut up. Kansas,
where they're competing with each other.
Yes. And it's still between the two of them flirty competing because she's still, you know, he's still Dean Cain. He's still 90s Dean Cain. And, you know, so
Dean Cain?
That Dean Cain. So I'm glad we got to see, as much as I loved delving into a series that was so deeply entrenched into a on the scene Superman that has been doing this for so long, because we don't get that ever, hardly. We always do origins. I ate up obviously that montage of that pilot, mostly because it was setting this world up for us that we didn't know what it was going to be like post crisis and having to deal with all those other shows. So I was eating up that montage. And then I was really glad we got to kind of stew in it a little bit here, even though it's not a true flashback, it's still actual memories.
Yes.
Oh, wait, spoiler alert, we haven't gotten there yet.
Now, here's something I want to kind of pose to you guys, because we go into a montage and we're kind of pushing through time a little bit here as their relationship grows and grows and grows. I was thinking that maybe some people would come out of this episode going, now there's the show I wanted to watch all this time. And I feel like as I was watching it going, this is nice. This is lovely. This is beautiful. But this isn't the show that we've been watching. And it's not really, I'm not seeing anything too terribly new here, you know, so it might have been, I might not have been as thrilled after a few weeks of this. I don't know. What do you think?
This works best as a like, let's go back and look at how they got started. Like this works as a, you know, sort of a brief reminiscence between two different events that happen to be cataclysmic. You know, it works in that sense. But if it were the whole show, it would be sort of like, we've seen this, I've read this. It's beautiful, it's nice, it's lovely, but it's nothing new.
Right. I think the magic of this, you know, it's great seeing Superman for the first time doing first time things, but I think the magic of this lies in Clark and Lois falling in love. To me,
I definitely agree with that, and just in this story being something that we're visiting and not being the whole show. We just get to visit in this time period, in this early in their lives, and that makes it a little more. It makes it feel more fresh because we know we're not sticking around here.
Now, I do think like, hey, I'm okay with some more of these kind of episodes.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't
okay
want
with
the
it.
entire show to turn into this.
Right. Yeah, that's what made it special. But yeah, so them falling in love was the most compelling thing, and this whole section of the show was my favorite episode, favorite part of the episode, just because it was just so well done, and it was just you love to see it.
Yeah, them two
feels.
working together and piecing clues together, and they're at crime scenes and they're laughing with coffees in their hands. And then finally, right at the end, Lois pretty much puts a stop to this dry cleaning business that Perry's got going on.
She is the partner who she's the one who will tell the waiter that they brought you the wrong order.
Yeah, they should. I mean, she. I don't know what Fortress of Solitude glacier speed he moves, but she's like, "Where are you going? You got a date?" I mean, she's kind of Again, she's kind of giving him the Superman, the eyes that she usually has for him.
I know. I liked it.
And I didn't catch this until the second watch, but when he's like, "No, I'd rather be here," and she says, "Well, for the story or for the company?" And he goes, "I feel like that's a trick question." I almost thought on the rewatch I was watching for Lois in the interview later where he says trick question. I was like, is Lois going to catch right there?
Yeah. I just want to, after your math of how old he is now, and he talks about Seinfeld reruns and
of
course, 2004, that show went off in 98. But anyway, now
reruns, definitely.
That tracks.
Talking about Seinfeld reruns and eating up frozen chicken nuggets. I'm like, he's 24. He's not 17. Gee.
Well, he's emotionally 17.
I was doing that the other night.
I'll be doing that tomorrow night, most likely.
But yeah, they're just clearly smitten with each other, but they do kind of say good night,
Yeah.
Not quite there yet.
I would like to know over the course of the montage how long he's been at the planet. Just to get an idea.
Yeah, tell me that math man.
They made eyes in the pilot, during the never met a Clark before. Like it's there in the pilot.
That's
I'm just getting to see more of it here.
If the boys are 14, as you say, it's only about 3 years between them meeting and them making babies. So there's your time.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we get a bit of Lois getting into trouble with this guy named Henry Miller, who works at, and I noticed on his card it says USA First Hardware. I'm like, oh boy.
Oh boy.
But
getting a little heavy-handed here.
But then this is the moment where Perry's like, "This isn't track and field, Kent." But I love that moment because it's not exactly very realistic because he kind of jogs by. And Perry's watching after him, and then all of a sudden we see Superman fly the window behind him. I'm like,
behind him.
How far was he at? How far did he? How close was that door? I don't know.
Yeah. I know.
I don't think about it too much.
I love a gag like that, though. I really do.
Yeah. So now we're on the Metropolis Street, and we see Henry Miller in broad daylight. Like, so this guy, iron mask, trench coat. I didn't look up. I don't look up comic book stuff as much. So what do you guys got? Derek's flipping through a book right now.
Yeah, that was literally the costume straight out of Superman Smashes the Klan. It was literally the costume,
except for instead of the swastika, it was
instead
the
of
SS.
Yes, it was the SS instead of the swastika. But in every other way, it was identical.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. I've only read this once when it first came out, and it's really good. I strongly recommend. If you're looking for, especially if this is like your first foray into Superman,
it's a good place to start.
You're listening to this podcast, that might be weird, but this is a great like kind of introductory thing too. Because I mean, it's also kind of that Fleischer costume and everything.
Because it's loosely based on a storyline from the radio show,
the radio series.
Hold on, loosely.
Hold on, loosely.
Yeah, it was. There was a whole.
That was a Toto song. Speaking of Kansas,
they do refer to him as the Atom Man.
Does he have the same like MO here? Is he setting businesses?
I mean, look at that,
fire?
Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah. identical.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's straight out of.
Is he setting minority-owned businesses on fire? Is he trying to, push
It would appear that way.
Nazi agenda in the comic?
Yeah.
I mean,
Tremble, American scum! Tremble for the might of the Atom Man, avenger of the master race.
There you go.
So there you go.
oh boy.
Yep.
Excuse me, Mr. Atom
This
Man.
guy.
Lois Lane, Daily Planet. This is my associate, Jimmy Olsen. Hiya. Here, I'm just going to sit here and read the whole thing to you.
Yeah.
And then,
Read us a bedtime story.
like it's elementary school, and then I'm going to turn the pages to the Zoom camera so you can watch.
But the mystery man shows up, and I love this shot because Henry is opening fire, quote unquote, on Lois, and Superman swoops down and steps between her and the flame, and it like the world slows down. Now this is Lois meeting Superman, and him turning and kind of nodding to her as this fire just cascades around.
Oh, that
him.
nod is so subtle too, but it's so good.
It's so nuanced, and I love the mirroring of like the first time Clark and Lois meet, and there's that slow motion, and she turns around and he sees her, right, and it's sort of a glamour shot of her, and he's falling for her. But here it's the reverse, where it's her seeing Superman, and like as much as we haven't really, they didn't really make much of her being as attracted to Superman as she was to Clark. Here it's that same shot, but in reverse, where she's noticing him. And it's the same camera work. It's the same like slow-mo effect. It's just the mirror image of those two meetings was really neat.
Oh, nice. I didn't even notice that. He stops the flamethrower with freeze breath, takes care of these, your classic, who you're going to save both at the same time. Of course he is. He's Superman.
Yeah.
And then of course Lois knocks him out with the little stun gun and says, "Who's the hero now?" Because this guy is like, "I'm the hero."
Why didn't that first grenade explode?
I don't know.
wasn't sure about that.
Maybe
he
in
blew
an
it up with his
earlier
heat
draft,
vision. He blew it up with his heat vision, and I was like, I feel like that should have blown up. What I really wish would have happened, though, when he comes out, he gets blown to that building with the second one because the explosion takes him back, and then everybody's clapping as he walks out. I really wanted all that applause to be for Lois. Having chased the guy. He walks out like hand up thinking it's him, and they're all crowded around Lois clapping.
Oh, that's
really great.
Dude.
Nice.
Yeah, I was wondering maybe the grenade thing is like there was like an earlier draft that they cut the line out or something where he's like, one of these is a dud,
Right.
Like,
This is also the first moment in the episode. I kind of felt like it should have happened before then because I guess you get so kind of bought into these flashbacks that you're not thinking about what just happened last week. Because this is your first glimpse that something is awry too, because there's Shadow Man over against one of the buildings, and you're like, and Superman looks at him, and then hears Lois's voice and snaps him out of it. So he
was that Tyler Durden
to whatever it is. It's those things from Ghost that come and take you away.
Oh no! No, thank you. Oh, it was scary.
30 years later, those things are still freaking disturbing.
Yeah. He says, she's wondering how he knew about this, and he says he's been reading her reports and also his hearing.
Oh, my hearing.
His super hearing.
Yeah.
And then she says, what are we going to call you? She shakes his hand too. What are you going to call you? Mr. Metropolis, Red and Blue Man? I'm sure you'll think of something. And he takes off, and the store owner says, "Who was that?" And she just says, like, I love how confidently she's just like, Superman.
Okay. Loved that. Obviously love when she names him always.
Yes. Same.
The fact that she had it, she already had it. She already knew that she'd already, that was not first draft. That was done. Well, maybe the original first draft, but she already had that in her mind. He's been on the scene for months, and this guy's walking up going, "Who's that?" I'm like, no, he's like, he has been all over everything. Where have you been, dude? That took me out of it there for a second. I mean, I ate it up because she said, like you just said, she takes off and she's like, "I'm sure you'll come up with something." And I laughed because that was kind of sexy. And then, but then it was just like Superman, because that's what I've been calling him in my dreams. And, the guy's like, "Who is that? Who the hell do you think?
Where have you been?
Maybe he should have been like, was that the guy? What was his name?
Was that him? Was that him? And
yeah.
she could have just gone Superman, and that would have been fine. Yeah,
right.
Mr. Metropolis, though.
Mr. Metropolis. We didn't mention it a minute ago,
bad.
but when they first start talking about the planet, she calls him Mr. Miracle.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Dude, yeah.
Oh,
So get some good little references in there.
I don't know how I missed that one. I love that.
I love that she's still just kind of not standoffish, but she's just, I don't know. It's just kind of that total flip of what we're normally used to.
Yeah, it is. It is. And
between the two of them.
It's kind of fresh. It's kind of fresh because it's not something you see very often.
Yeah. A fresh new Superman and Lois.
It is.
When we come back from commercial, we're at Frank's favorite scene.
Yeah.
Because we do have to remember that in this iteration, Daily Planet also has its own news network.
Yeah.
Which is kinds of Byrne era-ish. I mean, obviously, when we, that became a thing in the comics for a little while, that the Planet was a TV.
GBS.
Yeah.
The Galaxy Broadcasting System. Yeah. WGBS. And they were on TV. Clark and Lois were news anchors.
We've worked that in some here. Obviously, that happened before Edge, but even
it's a nod.
Here
an acknowledgement. It's an acknowledgement.
Oh, yeah. We're assuming this is 2005-ish now because she does say that he's been on the scene for about a year in this interview, which she's doing in front of cameras. He's being televised. This isn't just the normal Lois Lane, I spent the night with Superman print interview. This is straight up the two of them sitting down in front of a camera for this interview with this fake microphone sitting between them.
Yes.
As a podcaster, I'm like, no.
That is disrespectful to my mic setup. It was more like a late night talk show mic on the table.
Yeah.
It was just sort of there as a prop.
Now, Robin had said a second ago, I kind of feel like we're probably around 2005-ish now because she makes the reference of him being on the scene for about a year.
Yeah, she says since you have appeared in Metropolis over a year ago, so 2005.
There you go.
And she's asking some hard-hitting questions. She wants to know where he came from. Obviously, we learned planet Krypton was destroyed. Pod that I escaped in brought me to Earth, and she wants to know where exactly on Earth. He's like, I'm not telling that just now, which comes in handy in a minute when she asks about the American way, and he's like, I feel like you're just fishing.
I like how they did that.
Yeah.
I like how because I understand, I've gotten over I understand why we're not going to just full face say like truth, justice, and the American way, like we used to, but I like that they found a way to say it and have it be tied into the like, you're trying to get me to say that I'm American.
I like that better than all that stuff.
I like it a lot better than all that stuff. Yeah.
I love that it's still making for a good interview, but when they yell, when she's got feedback on her mic or whatever, and they cut, it's like, I'm not getting anything out of it. It's like, no, you're getting, like, this is it.
Yeah.
And she even says, this is the shtick. This is him. This is him putting on the smile and being nice. This is the whole thing. And her little friend, what's her name? Julie? What was her name? Robin?
Janet.
She says she's her best friend. I'm like, we've never seen you before, and we're Lois's best friends, not you. She's like, he's making eyes at you, and she's like, that's his whole thing. He's supposed to be nice. He's Superman.
Yeah.
But she admits that she's in love with Clark. Like she says, I don't have time for this guy because he's a doofus, he's a dork, but I love him.
She says, Clark from the paper, we've been dating a couple months. I know he's dorky, but I love him. And by the way, Bitsy tweeted out that's something she actually made up on the spot.
It wasn't even scripted?
That was Bitsy right there.
I love it. I love it.
Which, I don't know. Sorry, Bitsy swoon.
I know.
Swoon moment.
Bitsy, big Bitsy swoon. I did love Janet asked about Superman having super hearing because he's been hearing this whole conversation, and it kind of cuts to where he can be seen in the monitor looking at them and smiling. But if nothing more than for Steve Glosson, I wish he had just raised his hand and been like, ladies. Ladies. Not going to make mention of anything you're talking about, but
I kind of thought he would turn and look the other way, like to pretend that he hadn't been listening, but he just sort of like let her know that he knew.
Yeah. He turns and looks at, So
I love that he has to compose himself because he's shocked to find out that she loves him. Like he's kind of taken aback by the whole thing, and you can tell.
Exactly.
You can tell. Then, of course, the next scene is him bringing her to Smallville, but it's like, okay, I have to tell her. Like this is getting serious now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that half grin he does when they turn around and look at him. It's so good.
Fantastic.
Tyler's so good.
Superman says that Clark is a lucky man, and they kind of move on with the interview. But we move on to our good old Kent farm, which is a lie. It's not there. It's not there. Okay. It's not a fully functional farm. All right. But anyway, in this show it is.
It's not even a fully functional house.
Lois is super nervous, but of course Martha is just Martha, you know. And then it says she's basically invited all of Smallville to come meet her.
It's just some people, you know, everybody from that scene a few scenes ago.
Bridge Club.
I kind of wondered if we'd get a Lana Lois meeting in this at first, and then obviously they didn't go that direction. But I kind of, because they did play that up when they talk in the pilot about them knowing each other previously.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Lana was at the wedding.
That seems likely.
But, you know, I almost expected them to be there and for Clark to have a scene with Kyle there for a second, but that doesn't fit into the Glimmer Man's needs.
The Glimmer Man.
That's right.
No, there's
what we're calling him.
Uncle Morgan.
Is he Steven Seagal or Keenan Ivory Wayans?
I don't have a good name for him yet, and it ticks me off because we usually don't have a hard time coming up with running gags on these podcasts, but I don't have a good name for him, and I still don't have a good name for Steele either. When you go by 19 different names, I can't pick one to call you yet.
It's tough.
So Clark tells Martha that he's here to tell her who he really is, and she says, "You sure? Once you tell her there's no going back?" And he says, "Yeah, well, there was no going back after the first time I saw her." We all saw that close up of Lois when he first sees her, and of course, like she's like a dream in that shot.
Right.
And they're hugging, and Lois is like, "Was everything okay?" And
yeah,
Martha,
I'm just happy to have my son home and not at all for you to find out he's an alien. He's not an alien.
And I'm just happy to be home with my bench.
What?
I'm going to go sit on my bench.
I was over on the bench.
Martha, is very emotional and says everything is perfect, which is just like, oh. But yeah, we go to another montage, and I was hoping to see an extended scene of this.
I was so mad we did not have him tell her. I feel like we wasted time on other moments in this episode. Not wasted, but I feel like there were other moments that could have been abbreviated. Lana, for a longer for him to actually say the words here. But the next shot, which we'd already seen that shot from the pilot of him lifting off, it's one of Robin's favorite jokes to send. But the next shot kind of made up for it for me on the elevator when she just grabs him and plants one on him after the doors close. Because you're almost seeing him standing there, and you're like, "Are they not speaking right now? Is she mad? Like he's
okay? Is that
get on the elevator?
Okay.
Do what?
Well, I was wondering. I was going to ask you guys, like, is Lois like more like crazy in love with him now as she knows that he's like the whole package?
I don't even know that it's that he's Superman, because again, I don't think she really cares. I think it's that that he trusted her. And
that's it.
Can I just say that the whole? I mean, I don't want to harp too much, but these two have not gotten. While these two have amazing chemistry on this show, and they do, and it just bleeds out the screen. They don't get to touch very much. I don't know if that's a COVID thing or what. You know, they had her in bed with Steele. We were talking about in the last episode, and they've never even showed the two of them in bed together, which should be more than made up for. A couple of scenes later, like, all right,
Jordan and Jonathan walk in. That's gross. That's mom and dad. It's grown-ups.
It steered into the skit on that one, but I did have that one moment where I don't know why my Steery just came on.
Did you start talking about
that one moment where he's coming on the elevator and she's back down the corridor, and you're kind of like, Are they not? Is their stuff not cool? Because all you see was him float up, and then so it was kind of like that. It reminded me of when he spied on the boys earlier, and they were and she didn't forgive him for a little bit because he tells them that he did the same thing. Yeah. And I was kind of like, is she not happy that he lied to her about being Superman? But as soon as those doors close, I thought they were like on the elevator, not speaking there for a minute was what they were showing us. And then she just turns and plants one on. It made me so happy.
Yeah. The body language there was like, oh, are they not good? But then, she is just all over.
Well,
I just love because she feels close to him. Like she knows his secret and she's giddy because like there's a closeness and there's a trust and a respect. They're very much like, equals is not even strong enough of a word, but they are partners. Like they are a true partnership on this show, and clearly that's a strong foundation from the start of their relationship.
Well, it did make me kind of feel like, and I don't know why it didn't in the pilot, and I it was a retooling of, was it Elseworlds when he proposes and he's grilling in the fortress with the apron on and that whole thing. Obviously, we knew in the pilot they redid that. He proposes to her, but it reminded me of Lois and Clark for some reason this time, because it had been Clark all along and now suddenly it was Superman proposing. I was like, who's asking, Clark or Superman?
But yeah, with the montage kind of moves on, we see the stuff that we've seen in the pilot, the proposal, them in the sky kissing, the wedding, that beautifully shot moment where he picks her up and they go off together in the red truck. And then we go to the honeymoon, and Clark's got them guns out again.
I mean, it's hard to conceal those puppies.
Woo! So yeah, you were looking for some closeness.
Son. Yeah. He is absolutely jacked. I mean, it's one thing I have to feel bad about myself enough to see you in the Superman outfit, but then to see you without it, sir, it's like you're not doing me any favors.
I feel bad enough when I see a guy who has hair. Like I don't need.
Honestly, a lot of the time we've been watching this show, I've been like, they puffed that suit up a little bit, but then they showed him after he got shot all those times. I'm like, wait, that's all real.
He got lit up by that Uzi.
Yeah,
sure did. For just joining us.
And now he's shirtless in bed, and it's there's sheer sheets hanging everywhere. It's very
okay. But hear me out. Before, he's talking about, I'm so excited to go tell my dad about the wedding and all that before they get back into their activities that they're taking care of. They're on their honeymoon.
They're hugging.
It lingers just a second before it cuts to the Fortress of Solitude, and I thought they were going to start floating off the bed. If you go back and watch, like he kind of raises up just a little bit, and I almost thought they were going to have him, in air.
You were watching that pretty closely, were you?
I might have been. What's your point? I might have been looking very closely.
But these
are my babies. I'm so happy for them.
I was always hoping those two kids would get together.
This line in here really makes me think of, like, is what I thought about while we were discussing the elevator scene and why she goes after him like this, why they kind of wait for the doors to close. Is that like where he goes, I kept this secret from everyone and I realized why I've been saving it for you. It was for you. And so we can have this life together. So it is their shared secret.
I kept this secret so we could have this life together, which would leave you to believe like Pete doesn't know. Nobody knew outside of Martha and Jonathan until Lois, which makes that all the more spectacular between them. So good moment all around.
Yeah, makes it all the more special.
So we are moving on with our flashbacks to the fortress, and we think, we're going to get this whole scene where Clark's describing the wedding, and all of a sudden Jor-El just goes from like listening to all of a sudden it flickers and he's like, get out of here now. And I did not call in the trailer that was Jor-El's voice, but
it's funny that you say that. Was there not a shot in the trailer of Jonathan and Martha and Clark, or did I just dream that?
I think you did. I think that was a shot. I think that was something they might have.
I thought there was a young Clark,
sworn there was.
Martha, Jonathan. Obviously, it wouldn't be Tyler Clark, but
There was a family photo, I think, that we saw.
There was the photo, and he picks that up when he talks about being from Krypton. He's looking at that when he tells her about being Kryptonian. I really thought in the trailer there was a shot of the three of them for some reason, but I guess not. Obviously, there's no other shots with that younger Clark and Martha in this episode.
So now all of a sudden, like, Clark's confused, and then boop, he wakes up in bed, and he's at their Metropolis apartment, and he's confused, and he's like, "What day is it?" And Lois comes in and announces that she's pregnant, and that's where I was just like, "Yeah." I was thinking, what day is it? Like, tell me what day it is. That way,
don't worry about the time here. We're just jumping.
Well,
Uncle Morgan is literally skipping through the greatest hits. He's not. This is not a linear thing.
He's hitting the next chapter button.
He's scrubbing.
Yeah, I will say if there's one thing we could say about Uncle Morgan, and maybe what he has to do, how closely he might be in tune with us as hosts of this podcast, is that we're all big romance fans. We love this romantic tale, and Morgan, he took his time watching it just like we did.
he did. I was like, you're hitting the high points too. Also, you stayed a little long on the honeymoon there, Morg.
Jarrell probably was like, nope. Zipped him out of there.
Don't make me look.
I don't want to see that.
I don't. Oh, they are flying. Well, good for them.
Lois is ecstatic. She's like, I didn't even want a baby, and Clark is like all confused, but that then is kind of distracted by Lois. And these couple of scenes are interesting because it's almost like he's like kind of playing along with the memory, going through the memory, saying his lines. And then he's
kind of drawing him back into it. Like he's kind of getting lost in the scenario, but I love that it's just a placeholder. She's still doing it. She's still over there giving her lines when he's not responding to her at all. Like it's straight up like the holodeck or something.
Exactly. That is exactly what it's like. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was
sadly, Sadly, Lois does say that she wants a girl. So, there's a flash, and then suddenly we're in the OBGYN, and they're looking at the ultrasound. Boys. And I love Clark's Tyler's line reading, like, whoa, is that a,
Can't say for certain, but
I'm going to be a dad twice, all at once.
Yes. By the way, her telling him that she is pregnant, that's also retcon from the end of Elseworlds.
Yeah. What's that other universe?
Yeah.
I love that when she asks the doctor to go get her some water, Clark's like in the background, like pointing at the screen, like, are anybody else looking at this?
Humana.
I know that feeling. I have experience that feeling.
I was wondering when that was going to come up.
Yeah. I know that
well.
one
So Lois is, wondering like, hey, is a twin thing because of, Superman? But Clark says that, Jor-El said that everything.
No, Lois, it doesn't matter that I had sex with you as Superman earlier in the night and then Clark later that night. It's strictly just.
And then, he's like, everything is going to be fine. And she says the guy doesn't have to give birth to two babies at the same time.
I know. I love that.
But then Clark,
I do love that you notice, of course, we know who Glimmerman is this whole time. We know he's Uncle Morgan, but you've only seen the ghost flash of him. But in you see his reflection in the door when Clark opens the door.
Yeah, that was a good one
too. Yeah, you see that it's. I think I'm going with Uncle Morgan. I like Uncle Morgan.
Uncle Morgan.
Uncle Morgan.
That one struck me as soon as he said it.
Yeah. So Clark says, Clark realizes it's not real, and he walks out, and he's like, what have you done to Morgan? And Morgan says, I hate for you to miss the big moment in there, the delivery room. And she mentions 27 hours of labor, and that was, she did say 27 hours of labor in the episode Best of Smallville. So
yes.
And the other thing I kind of I got a kick out of was, he walks out of the OBGYN, the exam room or whatever it says on the door. And then when he turns back to the door, the sign's changed to delivery room. Mm-hmm. And I think it's the same door, but
it is. Clever.
They didn't do all that in one take either. They didn't get her out of that in a gown and
that's
and all
true.
That. That wasn't a one take. But it was
door.
still it was still pretty good that he turned around and went right back in there.
Yeah.
I loved that Morgan was standing over the boys and says, Jonathan and Jordan and Jonathan Kent, sons of Lois Lane and Superman. And one of them's crying and the other one's not. And I was like, that's Jordan.
Poor Jordan.
Yeah. And just Clark realizing what's happening here and realizing that Morgan, like, this delivery scene, like, obviously a father would be freaking out about twins being delivered. And then, but he's freaking out. He's like, he knows everything. And this is huge, and it makes me think, like, thank goodness Lois and Clark didn't have their own show during all of Clark's years as Superman in Metropolis, because I'm sure his secret's been spilled 7 times by now if they had their own show. But now that they haven't had their own, since they didn't have their own show during that, it's been safe this entire time.
I pick up what you're putting down, man. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I love how carefully Uncle Morgan, by the way, phrases like, I would never harm a newborn.
Never harm newborns.
Teenage boys
on the other hand.
So, boom, we're back in present day. We're in the fortress. Superman has a band on his head, which I believe is the thing that Morgan went into his dreams with, or his memories with.
Morgan's wearing one too.
Yeah.
So.
Terralock. You guys... Oh, sorry. Were you going to say something?
I didn't Google, but that doesn't sound familiar to me.
No.
That doesn't... Obviously, there's lots of Superman history in print that I'm not familiar with. But
one of Krypton's greatest scientists, though. You should know.
Yeah, well... there's little things about this show that I absolutely adore. I mean, there's larger things too, but one of the things I've loved is every time they're in the fortress, whoever is talking has breath. Like, it's cold. Like, you could see, like, every time I've, like, whether it was Jordan or whoever, I've really enjoyed that they've kind of stuck with that.
It's a really good choice. It's a really, really
I mean,
good
well,
choice.
it's also like a duh choice. It's like, oh yeah, of course it's freezing.
Right.
Of course they should have.
But they could have just, like, hand wave that away. Well, Kryptonians don't, breathe air.
Yeah.
Well, it's not actually ice. It's actually sunstone crystals.
I mean, if your mouth tastes like wintergreen gum the entire time, literally, you're not, like, breathing out smoky air.
So there's 13 minutes left in the episode, and but as far as I'm concerned, the episode's over. So you two have fun talking about the rest of this.
I gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Well. I feel like Derek's going to come back eventually. We'll see
another thing.
So yes, Morgan says that he, has been invading his memories because he wants to understand why Kal-El would betray his heritage. And I love how he's just like, how woefully pedestrian, and you stumbling through your daily life like some village idiot instead of a true son of Krypton. Like, oh man, he knows how to talk like a villain.
Oh yeah.
You almost got me monologuing.
Yeah, exactly.
So he says that Superman's worried that he's literally threatening physical violence on his family. No, he's going to destroy their lives by telling the world his secret.
Mm-hmm.
And then Superman tries bringing.
Well, he said that, and then when he shows up at the farm, he pretty much says he's going to murder him.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Hey, Jane, he's fickle. What do I do?
Kooky Uncle Morgan
Doesn't know what he wants. Yeah, Jor-El tries to get involved, and Morgan gets very irritated. I will not debate morality with this whisper.
Yeah, what caused Jor-El to finally show up? Like, they had talked for a while and nothing, and it was like, hey, Jor-El, it's like, hey, Siri, hey, Jor-El, showing up and
it's Amazon
finally.
Tube device.
I love. I was thinking about this when I was rewatching it last night. He pops in. And Edge is like, oh, I'm not talking to the Whisperer. But when we get to the end and his dad shows up and he's talking about,
that Whisperer's fine.
Yeah, well, that Whisper's no issue whatsoever. But his dad's talking about Jor-El, and he's like, oh, the scum of Krypton. And I'm kind of like, were Jor-El and Lara hippies? Like, I'm kind of getting this, like, Steven and Elise Keaton vibe all of a sudden, a little bit. Because, like, she won't go with her betrothed. Like, she falls in love and, like, goes off on her own. And they're talking about how it's, like, they go against the grain, and they're like the scum of Krypton. I'm like, these are the Keatons. Like
that actually does have. Sorry to put on my like professor hat, but like that does have some basis in like the comics and stuff. Where in the I guess it's like in the John Byrne era, like there's the whole thing of like Kryptonians, have like sort of they have like what's the word I'm looking for? They have children through science, not through
right.
The fun activities that Clark and Lois were doing on their honeymoon. So
hugging.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So mommy tackles daddy, and so people who did like have sex and have a child that way were like doing it the old fashioned way, and like, why are you not going with science? Why are you doing it?
Well, why are you doing
it like in such a depraved way?
Yeah, that was Man of Steel. It was like we had a natural born child versus using the birthing matrix and all that.
Right. And so it's I feel like it was sort of a nod to that of like, why would you do it that way when we have our ways? This is so much more civilized.
Yeah. So they're hippies. Like I'm totally that was totally the vibe I was getting between last week and this week when Zeta Rao was talking. I was like, oh, Jor-El's a hippie.
By the way, Zeta Rao. He was. I'm just going to go ahead and pay the piper now, but he was on Smallville. He was the senator in Noir.
Oh no, there's an episode.
He's the one that says mole.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
All right, hang it up.
Yeah.
Hang it up. Mole. We're done. We're done. We did it.
Good night, everybody.
I had
no idea.
I've been waiting this whole episode to.
I had no idea. I didn't even look him up. That's
okay. Quick backstory. So back on the old podcast, there was an episode called Subterranean, and we kept thinking the whole time, well, they'll make some Superman and the Mole Men reference, to the original film.
Yes.
And they never did. So Stephen DeKnight was on the podcast, who was writing one of the last episodes of season 5, and we said, hey, you need to work in a mole reference for us, because it kind of became like a joke like a running gag on Star Wars House of L.
It did.
And then he wrote it in for it. He wrote in that guy saying mole. That's the same guy.
That's the same guy. Alan C. Peterson, also credited as A.C. Peterson, name of the actor. He played Senator Ed Burke in 2 episodes of Smallville, Prototype, and Noir.
That's so funny.
Mind blown.
Wow. Wow.
There you go.
It didn't really make up for the end of the episode to me, but I'm still happy to know that. Thank you.
I'm really, I'm sorry to do this, but we have to move on. And because the next thing, Superman refuses after Morgan is like, tries to get him to join one more time. And then he goes, okay, well, I'll have to make you suffer. And he grabs the Sunstone and he crushes it. And Jor-El says, I love you, son, and disappears.
And Jor-El goes, hey, man, that's not cool. Like,
peace out, brother.
My mellow, man.
Yeah. Peace. It just blitzes out.
That's just like point. Your opinion, man.
That's just like, he's not even a hippie. He's just Lebowski.
It's just Lebowski.
Lebowski Jor-El. When he crushed that Sunstone, I was done. I was like, you you just, I mean, they not in so many words, obviously, but it was very much
I think you said all those words, actually.
Yeah, well, it was. You took my family from me. I'm going to take yours from you, starting with this, Echo, and crushes him out of existence. Oh, you son of a Uncle Morgan! You're not like Uncle Buck at all. You're mean.
When Uncle Morgan comes to Thanksgiving, it gets real ugly real fast.
And then there's just this, Superman gets enraged but is immediately like overpowered. Like he's wiped out from that solar flare. And it really seemed like not only Jor-El is gone, but it looked like the fortress is being taken down.
Well, okay. So they're bouncing back and forth. It looked like the Scooby-Doo hallway thing when they'd go in one door and come out another. Like that's what it looked like as they're bouncing forth. But when Edge gets him on the ground, because he does get the upper hand over him, obviously Clark's still weakened. Yeah. And, you know, I'm not going to say Edge is stronger, but he's been here longer.
He's been here longer. But Clark is wiped out from using the solar flare.
Yes, I mean, especially that. Yeah. I mean, it's not, you know, but
house in the desert.
He slams into the ground, and of course, my first thought is, well, somebody saw Arctic. You know, it didn't have to be this way, and I was like, this feels very familiar. Can't do that without
dropping coins.
So I don't have any money. I'm broke. Right. So I've been saving up for Bo Burnham jokes the whole episode. I got a wad ready to go here.
Where's the Omega Hedron?
But while he's I don't remember that in Inside. While he's holding him down, you could still hear the fortress like cracking around them. And I was like, that whole thing is about to cave in on them. And then somebody really did see Arctic, which is an episode where Lex Luthor has Superman on the ground and the fortress caves around him. But it didn't happen. But I was waiting for it because he was holding him. You could still hear the ice cracking. And
I'm assuming if it did fall, we would have seen it. You know. All right, so we go to the Cushing house. Obviously, we wanted to go here next. So Kyle's getting rid of that hangover. Kryptonian hangover. And we find out about Emily, who is like, you know, one of the small villains that was possessed, and we're kind of wondering where their mental state is afterwards. And all they know is that Edge was giving them powers and was mind controlling them. Nothing about aliens or Kryptonians or anything like that. So Kyle, it says he's sure he's going to get blamed for all this. And he starts his apology tour here, but
was I saying to you guys, or was I saying to our buddy Tim? I was like, you know, one thing's going to happen out of all this. Once they go back to normal, Kyle's going to have to admit he was wrong. Like he's going to have to see the error of his ways, no matter how proud he is or how much he was doing the wrong thing for the right reason. He's still going to have to admit it. And he he goes to do it to Lois, and I was so happy. But then I was like, you wait, like he made sure nobody was around before he apologized. He looked to make sure the kids were gone. He was looking around to make sure Lana wasn't there. And I'm like, I know you got your pride, dude, but come on, man. Admit in front of everybody you were in the wrong and apologize to Lois. Like, I'm so glad he did it, but I was still waiting. You know, the fact that they literally had Eric go.
They did?
You know, look down all the corridors and make sure nobody was there before he opened his mouth. I was like, come on.
I got to be honest. I didn't catch that either. I was so wrapped up in like, wow, he's actually apologizing. What a big moment. Yeah. That I missed that
you were busy thinking about that kiss.
Well, oh boy. There was that too.
Yes, we kind of skipped by it, but Sarah is talking a little bit about assuming the worst about her dad. She feels bad, and Jordan's like, sometimes parents assume the worst about them, and then that's because, and Sarah's like, it's because families lie to each other. So, but Sarah thanks Jonathan for being honest and asks for a moment alone with Jordan. And Jonathan's like, yeah, on his way, kind of gives the eye wiggle to Jordan, and Jordan is immediately starting to apologize.
Eye wiggle. What is that?
You know,
Jonathan gives him the old eye wiggle.
Not a wink, but like I don't know, like
your wife, is she a goer? Huh?
Say no more. Nudge, nudge. Say no more. Say no more. Gave him the old eye wiggle.
So yeah, Jordan's apology for not telling the truth, just like Jonathan, is interrupted by a kiss, and she says she doesn't want any friends anymore. And Jordan's like, me either.
Fine. I know he's so eager.
I do love, if you watch when they go out right before Kyle apologizes, they're all kind of just being like, Lois is smiling because she's happy for Jordan and Sarah, obviously, because they're, you know, she's kind of wrapped around his arm. Jonathan's playing with Sarah's hair.
Hair, yeah.
As they're walking out. It was just a cute little thing.
It was cute. Yeah. It was very sweet, very just like, familial.
But Kyle has a one-on-one with Lois. Derek thinks that perhaps he wasn't wanting an audience. I just think he wanted to have a moment with her and say, I was wrong about damn near everything.
He was.
He
says, but mostly I was wrong about you. I just feel like that, given how wrong you were, pride does not amount to the fact that I feel like you could probably say that in front of your wife and your daughter, and wherever the hell the other daughter is.
Well, we know there's a master plan, and Sophie is a major part of this. Yeah, and he says he's real happy that she's part of this town. So it's almost like, thank you so much, and I was wrong, and kind of like welcome to Smallville. Like I'm gonna stop being,
you're good for this town.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Bitsy's like quick, just like thank you, and or thanks, and they just move on. All right, so we go to the Kent farm, and Uncle Morgan's here.
Uncle Morgan comes to visit.
Oh God!
Well, of course, first Lois is like,
hide the punch bowl. Don't let him near it. He gets mad when he gets near it.
Lois does tell Jordan, like, me and your father have to have a talk with you about what we expect. I thought it was going to be kind of like a birds and the bees kind of joke, but it was more like a Jonathan Kent, Martha Kent kind of thing. Like, this is what we're going to expect.
I'll cut the damn thing off. Use it in my house.
So yes, Jonathan steps up and is like, "Where's our dad?" And Morgan, the villain, another great villainess. When I left him, he was a crumpled heap in his little ice castle. Peculiar place to build a fortress. I chose the desert, like to feel the sun on my face.
All right, Java.
Closer to the sun up there, Edge. Up there.
And then Jordan steps up, and we're like, and I don't know about you guys, but I was like, oh boy, here we go. Yep. I wasn't expecting him to beat him, but
hi, Jordan.
Yeah.
He has a little heat vision off, like a little Harry Potter Voldemort action here, and gets blasted away.
And Morgan, it's like barely even a thought for Morgan. He's like, Jordan is so outmatched.
But then Lois steps up, and Morgan now says, and this is something that he's learned from the memories. This is your fault. Your influence made him turn his back on his own people. So that's the lesson that Morgan's learned from this. And he's going to let the boys live long enough to watch her die. I didn't notice this the first time, but the second time, right before Superman lands, we see Jonathan kind of run to jump in front of before Lois gets blasted with heat vision. Super exhausted man is here. He says he's
super tired.
Super tired. He says he's going to do whatever he asks, and Morgan says kneel. No, he says submit.
I'm actually Zod.
Yeah. Oh God. But Lois is like, don't do it, but Superman does, and Morgan says, take one last look at the man you knew. And Superman turns and apologizes and said, we needed more time. He was right. And I think he was talking about Steel, right?
Steel.
Yeah. The captain.
And
the captain.
So boom, we're in the desert, and then we get a flashback to, we got a year, 1987. And young emo Talro.
Listen to the Smiths. I mean, he is there, man.
He's had a hard life, so of course he's listening to Joy Division.
We did get an answer to our question last week. Is this his Fortress of Solitude?
Yes.
Yeah.
Laura's still nowhere to be found, but
yeah. Well, in his flashback, he builds it, he goes inside, and his hologram, and I had to laugh. I'm sorry. This is one part of the show that just took me completely out of course, he's this disgusting, evil old man. Like, he was just he looked like something out of Dune or something. Just the most, I don't know.
He looked like something that I have yet to be able to pinpoint. Like, when I saw him, I was like, oh, he looks like
the guy who says mole.
Bleh. No, not the actual actor, but just the way they had him made up. I was like, oh, he looks like, X. And I just could not think of what it was.
I hate to go Lord of the Rings because I don't know all the characters, but he looked like the king that was.
The king, yeah, I kind of, that's not where my head went.
He got Jafar.
I got Sebastian Shaw's Darth Vader.
Yeah.
The helmet off.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so some questions about dialogue and all this. One, he asks him if he has the Eradicator, and he says the Eradicator hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah, Sophie's not here.
Yes. Oh, God, Sophie. But he says the Eradicator's not here yet. We still have not gone back to that 6 year ago flashback.
Yeah.
Right.
At all. We hadn't touched on it. Took that long for that thing to show up?
I don't understand.
It must have
I need more information.
Knocked off course.
Yeah. I need more information about that, A.
Right.
B, there was kind of a throwaway line back at the farm between Edge and Superman that makes me, I'm not going to say it redeems this ending for me, but it makes me hopeful. When she says, say goodbye to the man you knew.
Yeah, he says that, yeah.
If because they make the mention of talking about the Eradicator here, he safely puts it in the cave wall, puts the key in the cave wall, and sorry, put a quarter in for me. I guess I'm getting ahead of myself, but obviously the plan here is since that Superman is submitted, they're going to use Superman to do their bidding. I don't think it's as much as a mind wipe as it is the Eradicator putting another Kryptonian inside him. Is that what you took away from this?
That's what I got. Yes, that's what I got.
That's about the only thing that will make me happy with this ending, because I am so tired of the evil Superman trope.
But it's not, because he's. I mean, it is. But he's possessed, right? In the same way that Lana was possessed by Lara last week.
Do you think it's his father that they're putting inside of him?
Zeta Rho, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's doing. Yeah. But it's not.
I mean, I look at Zeta Rho and I'm like, I look at Zeta Rho and it's like, no wonder Laura left you. Look at you.
Right. I know. Right.
Look how old you've become.
I don't know. In this flashback, Tal is, Zeta says Tal has a weakness and we're going to get rid of that weakness. And the first lesson is pain. You're going to have to be able to withstand it. And he nails him with all that heat. And that's exactly what they do to Superman.
Right.
As if they're going to just beat him down until there's nothing left but evil. I don't know. That's what I got from it. I didn't think about being possessed,
I thought they were just torturing him before they put I mean, I know he goes red eyes there at the end, but that could still be Clark going red eyes, mad about what's happening to him.
And there's another cataclysmic event on the horizon. So,
well, and here's the other thing I'll say, and I'm sure this will come home to roost in some regards. Obviously, Zeta Rho is shit towards his son. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
Edge kind of looks like he has some resolve, maybe. Like he doesn't really like what's happening. Like he's been fed these lies, and he's been brought up this way, and he's been listening to his dad since 1987. And so it almost makes me wonder. There were just a couple of shots of Morgan looking not so pleased with himself.
So are you wondering if Darth Vader is going to throw the Emperor down the shaft?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. At least the Emperor died, right? The Emperor died, right?
Oh my God. Yep.
And then obviously cutting back and forth with this of Superman being made to turn evil. Even saying it is Lois calling Steel John Henry Irons and saying, "You were right. I think Superman's been turned."
Right.
And we have to wait for July 13th to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
There's not much else left to this episode, but I mean, let's talk about it just a little bit. I mean, you guys, Derek, you were pretty irritated that we're doing evil Superman again. And to me, I almost think like, good, let's get it out of the way. That's how I feel.
But didn't they already get it out of the way with the Other Earth Superman? That's
a different show. Oh, in the Other Earth. Oh no,
yeah, the Other Earth.
I thought you meant like during Crisis or Elseworlds.
No, because that wasn't Clark.
That was Dr. Faraday.
That was just somebody who thought they looked good as Tyler.
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess coming off the heels of the long break between theatrical Justice League and then Snyder Cut and then evil Superman, and then once Snyder Cut hit, it was all this talk of what the other films were supposed to be and how he was supposed to be evil, and the anti-life equation, and and succumbing to doomsday. I mean, to dark side and all that. And I'm just like, we have to. I'm not going to say it's lazy because it's not as much that to me as it is just. No, it's not that it's lazy. It's that it's not trying hard enough. No, I'm not in the writer's room. I can't say that, but I'd say it when you have to, we keep going back to this in different forms of media, it does feel like very low hanging fruit.
Sure. That
you're picking from. And there's 5 more episodes left. Any number of things can happen. I don't think he's going to be evil for 4, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
15.
Oh,
so 5.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
So
no, this is 11.
This is 11. I thought this was 10. I'm sorry. So 4 more episodes left.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be evil for all of them. I hope he won't be evil for more
I
than
don't
one.
think so.
But I'm just kind of over it. In all honesty, like
to me, it's like I think. Like I said, getting it out of the way, but also like, yes, this is not. Luckily, this is not the season finale. This is the cliffhanger they leave off on. He's turned evil, like you kind of whoop-de-doo. Like we know season 2 is going to start, and it's going to be, he's going to be cured of it somehow. But this, it's like there's 4 more episodes left. There's more story here. Maybe we'll get like an episode of him being evil.
I mean, this could have been a finale. It would have been a cheap way out of doing an actual finale, but that's a heck of a note to end on.
That's true.
Right there. So
just
funny.
To come back.
So many of these episodes I've been saying like, oh, this could be a finale. Like,
that is absolutely, you're absolutely right about that.
That last week, that, once you throw Holding Out for a Hero in there, it becomes finale level.
I still can't believe that happened.
I can't either.
All right. Well, I think we're hopeful that it's.
I don't think it's going to last very long, and I'm less annoyed about it than I would otherwise be, because it's not an Injustice sort of storyline where it's like Superman goes crazy and it's Clark in the driver's seat. Clark's not in the driver's seat here, so it's he's being used as a weapon, and okay, that may not be the most it's not something we've never ever seen before either. But it's not him consciously choosing to do the things that he's going to do. That said, I think that it's not going to get as out of hand as it did in the other Earth, in John Henry Irons' Earth, because we've prepared for this scenario now.
Well, and at least it didn't come as the answer to some sort of trauma, like the death of Lois, or or something like that. Like,
they were hinting at like Jordan controlling his anger. Like, is Superman going to turn evil because all of a sudden he loses control of his anger?
Yeah.
I mean, I think this whole season's been kind of like going, get ready for it because it's going to happen. So it's not surprising. Like,
we told you guys this was going to happen.
I'm fine with him getting angry, but get angry at Edge. Don't put on a black suit just to. And that's the other thing. They're going to have him in the black suit again.
Oh yeah.
I mean, probably, but we don't. I don't know. I don't know that for sure.
No, that's just an alien symbiote anyway. So,
it's also a terrible movie.
Ooh,
shots fired.
Got
Someone
real
doesn't
there.
like Venom.
SupermanTVTalk.com is where you can find us on the internet. Also, at Superman TV Talk on Twitter and at Starkville House of L on Instagram. You can also email us supermantvtalk@gmail.com. Hard to believe we only have 4 episodes left.
Yeah.
And then we're staring down less than a month, but still have a little break. So we're going to talk on spoilers about where you think things are going to land episode-wise.
Ish.
Yes. You going to do the math on that? Our resident mathematician?
I tried last week and I was completely wrong. So we'll see.
Well,
the internet
can all be winners.
Yeah. In the meantime, thank you for listening, and don't know that we'll be back in between since it's a short break. We have lives. Leave us alone. But we will be back after
go to
the music.
SmallvilleAnthology.com. You could go there.
That was my segue, but you go ahead, Frank.
No, that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
That's it.
Karate Kid.
We're doing a documentary podcast about the making of Smallville. Chapter 2 covers seasons 1 through 4. Derek wrote it with our friend Tim. It's fantastic. Robin's in it. as the voice of
Reason.
Clark Kent himself. So check it out.
That was too quick. You did that too fast. How did you get in?
You are way too quick.
That was way too good. Yes, Smallville
Never
Anthology.
accused of that.
SmallvilleAnthology.com. Be sure to check that out. But we'll be back after the music to continue talking about Superman and Lois, because
we're always around.
You that quick with the other, but you can't do that?
I was
that's what
going
confuses
faster,
me.
and
Wow.
you guys are dragging me.
It took him 7 minutes to wipe out Metropolis.
He has a family to fight for, which means he won't give up, and neither can we.
Well, what you just heard there is the audio for the trailer for the next episode 12 of Superman and Lois, Through the Valley of Death. Yeah, we're going to have to wait a little bit on that one.
Just a second. Yep.
Yeah. This trailer, well, first of all, I was very surprised to see it was July 13th, where I had been predicting 4 weeks that would maybe, and then we kind of, but let's get into the trailer. The trailer actually just shows like a lot of it is stuff we've seen before.
Sure. Yep.
With alt Superman destroying Metropolis, we see that great shot of Steel seeing Superman walk towards him and his suit changes to black for a quick second.
Yeah.
But we do see some other stuff which is new, and one thing that might make people very happy is that we see Lois visiting Diggle. And
that made me so happy. I am so happy to see Diggle. I mean, we knew he was coming, and I've been looking forward to it because it's really the first real tie, to the rest of this universe that we've been given. So I'm very happy to see it.
Right. And how does Diggle factor into this? Is he in Sam's army or something? Or it does seem like an army camp of some sort that Diggle is at.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's an Argus DOD team up type of thing.
Yeah. And then, we get a little quick shot in the Smallville Gazette, and Jordan looks like he's really upset. He's crying on Lois's shoulder, and Jonathan's kind of looking on. And they're in the Gazette, and I noticed in the background, we have the bulletin board up with all sorts of faces of Smallville residents. So I'm wondering if perhaps people got repossessed. I don't know. I think that whole interaction between what we called Kyle L.
Yes.
and Jonathan in the last e... I think that was a ... rather than a we're never going to see that guy again.
I kind of think you're right. Because given what we know about the way that the Kryptonians take control and give up control of
control.
Yes, just like that. Thank you. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they come back in some way, and if he tries to make good on his threat, and that I feel like there's still some unresolved stuff with Lois, and feeling like her sons are in danger, and I feel like there could be something to bear there as well.
But nothing really else. We hear Iron saying it took him 7 minutes to wipe out Metropolis, which is wow. And Lois saying he's got a family to fight for, which means he won't give up, and neither can we. So, we're all hoping Superman's going to be back to Superman very shortly.
Really got to think it's going to be. It's not going to last terribly long.
All right. Well, besides this, like really quick trailer, I did some thinking about this hiatus. How long is it going to be? There's no description for any episodes coming up, but we know this next episode's 112 Through the Valley.
There is actually a description for it now. It just says Clark. That's it. Nothing else.
Get out of here.
That's not true. That's not true at all.
Jordan makes a birdhouse. Morgan finds out something.
Well, Morgan comes to dinner.
Morgan makes pancakes.
Ooh,
but yeah, I was completely wrong about the 4-week hiatus, but it is a 3-week hiatus. And I was hoping it would be the only hiatus, but this show is going to be airing on July 13th. And then I find out in an interview that Matt Mitovich over at TV Line did with Tom Cavanaugh talking about his exit. But right at the end of the episode, or right at the end of the interview, he's talking a little bit about that he's directing the finale. And they say definitively it's August 17th.
Yes.
Which means July 13th is episode 12. August 17th is episode 15. And there are 4 weeks in between. So that means that 2 more of those weeks is going to be taken up by repeats.
Yep.
And my guess is we'll get 2 episodes. We'll have 2 episodes off. We'll get the last 2.
That would make sense
together.
To me.
Why?
Yeah. That's my guess. And then Supergirl picks up right after the following Tuesday on August 24th, right after the Superman Lois finale.
How many episodes does it have left when it returns? 6, 5, 6?
It'll be episode 8 when it comes back.
I don't remember how many it has this season total.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Seems like it was 15, but I may be wrong.
I feel like it was 15.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, you're fine. I just haven't. I don't have Supergirl on the brain at the moment.
Yeah, obviously that's going to get the send off. That's going to get a send off because, between COVID and Melissa's pregnancy and everything, that kind of got shortchanged a little bit.
Right.
Not saying that the joyful arrival of her child shortchanged the show at all. I don't mean that at all. But obviously, it had a delayed start because of the abbreviated previous season.
Right. Yes.
But as for this show, so the 15th episode is the finale. It's airing on August 17th. We've learned it's directed by Tom Cavanaugh, and Bitsy actually posted the cover sheet to the script on her Twitter, and it revealed the episode title is Last Sons of Krypton. And it's sons as in boys. Now, are we talking Tal and Cal? Are we talking
Tal and Cal?
Jor and John?
We're talking Tal and Cal.
Tal and Cal for sure.
I did notice in this when the fortress was first formed, Jor-El calls him the last son of the House of El.
That's right. He did say that.
Yeah, not the last son of Krypton.
I didn't
from a certain point of view.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't really realize the significance of that at the moment. I noticed it, but I didn't realize. Yeah, the equivocation there. Interesting. By the way, Supergirl's going to have 20 episodes. So it's got a lot left. I am not off the hook for a long while.
No, you got a lot left.
You'll be right up to Superman and Lois season 2.
Just gonna easy there, Bo. Put $1 in the jar.
The last bit of trivia I want to let everybody know is in that interview with Tom Cavanaugh, which you can find on TV Line. He does talk about how he hasn't read the script yet, but he knows what direction they're going in. And there have been stuff posted online. They are filming it, or maybe they have. No, I don't think they finished yet, but they're filming it. See some Leslie Lar. We see some Steele. We see Ed, at least we saw Edge's stunt double, which I thought was a different guy, but Derek's like, that's a stunt double.
I think.
You think. Okay. So Tom Cavanaugh actually kind of gushes over the idea of directing this finale. He says, quote, "The luster and the glow they're putting on that screen is exemplary. And the idea that you get to be part of one of the top franchises on television and one that is being rebooted in an intelligent way with heart and family bonds, getting to direct that finale, I'm truly looking forward to it." So, this isn't just stunt directing. This is somebody who's looking forward to it.
That's in the past, because obviously they're halfway through filming right now.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So
I love that he has that enthusiasm for it. It's very cool that they're giving him like sort of have a celebrity director do a finale. That's usually something that a showrunner will sort of hold close to the chest and make sure that it goes exactly the way that they want it to. But that's cool that they're giving him that. That means they must have a high degree of confidence in his, and he's directed episodes of Flash and other things as well. And he's always done a great job. So I have no doubt that the show's in good hands, but I love his enthusiasm for it.
Yeah. And how he's talking about how it's filmed. And if gun to your head, if they said we have to have Tom is directing, but he gets to be one Wells character in the Superman and Lois universe to pop in for a cameo, who's showing up?
Oh. Can he be Ed? Can I just have him in as Ed running the bowling alley in downtown Smallville?
Like, should Reverse Flash show up? Should it be Harry? Is Harry the one with the drumsticks, the hat?
I want the French guy.
The French guy. Sherlock.
That's it. I was like, what's his name? Sherlock
Wells.
Yes.
Anyway, write in and let us know which Wells you want on the show, and maybe they'll make it happen for you.
0.
All right. That's all we have.
All right. Back in July.
Yeah. We'll see you in a few weeks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Mole.